What good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. Finally, with no sooner than not lingering over me, I was able to sit down and comfortably get a haircut. Not looking too shabby, am I? But what is looking very shabby is these Battle of Chaos pre-sales over on TCG Player right now. Guardian Chimera, people spending $95. It reads amazing for a fusion card and we'll see some play, but oh my gosh. Illusion of Chaos at $75 for this DM era themed, basically Dawn of Majesty set. I have been asking on the channel a lot, where is the money? And I thought it might be the DDD cards, but after the rarity reveals and people not really going after them so much, it's interesting to see how this falls out and where people are headed with it. Over on Card Brawlers though, code What's Good 5 for 5% off and to support the channel directly, prices are looking a lot better. We see Illusion of Chaos at 53. I'd still be avoiding that for now, but eyebrow raising is Guardian Chimera at $45, half the price of what people are spending their money right now over here. And then going through the rest, it gets a lot better than TCG Player with the Sword Soul Secret at 26, and then you also see the Blue Eyes Jet at 21. I feel like I thought it was going to launch around 20, jet pun, but with the Blue Eyes Jet also as a collectible long-term past the Megatons where it's not secret rare anymore, you could get your time out of it. And then Master Duel has a lot of people coming back in with their Blue Eyes decks, their Dark Magician decks. It's kind of perfect timing for the set, and maybe why Konami might have rushed Master Duel out to combine with this in the physical TCG. That's maybe too deep of a theory though. And then the Libromancers are super affordable right now, with Geek Boy Secret Rare starting at $19, and this archetype has a lot of room to move up. B-Troopers for a winning slash competitive deck, it was very cheap for what it was also though, and then people didn't even play the most expensive card in it. But Libromancers I think will be playing very, very differently as they continue to develop. The Flunderies Ultra is at $8. My stream was telling me how underhyped Flunder is and how this deck's going to take off with this. I still think it's going to be Rogue. That's not an insult. Rogue can win events, tier 1.5 to 2, but I feel like this doesn't just shoot Flunder into the stratosphere and make them the deck to beat, but I do think it helps them compete a lot more, and that's a very nice early price. And remember, code What's Good 5 for 5% off makes all of these cards cheaper and supports the channel directly. And again, the DDD Divisor King starting at just $8, Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon at $7. Card Brawlers being very realistic and not just tearing this open for money. It looks like they're almost looking at the set like, yeah, we're a shop, we don't want to sit on this for a long time, because my approach with Battle of Chaos is a DM era modern theme set with special Dark Magician and Blue Eye stuff inside. That seems like it will age very well sealed over time, but shops with overheaded employees can't really afford to do that, right? Like they have to actually turn the product and work with it. So these pre-sales that are extremely greedy over here, not too surprised with the lack of competition on TCG Player pre-sales, but Card Brawler stepping up and free shipping on singles over $40 to the USA as well as Canada. You can also use the toggle over here and do different currencies in the top right corner on desktop. Now, speaking of the ban list fallout, y'all are really happy that the order is no longer Imperial. We saw the Sky Striker token spike up to $50 and somebody spent $86.40. You all are mad crazy going in like desperation. I get that the OCG's version of the holo token is insanely expensive. They have a token pack where this comes either rare or ultra, so super is a nice mid rarity, and I did warn that this is a bit of a penny stonk back in the day when it was $5. I would have been grabbing them if I was still vendor man, and looking through, they're now 17, 18, so whoever spent their money way too high, boy, you bought into the hype very hard. It's a super nice token, but I don't think it's really worth over $15 like that. What is worth a good bit of money, though, is looking at the Sky Striker cards. Widow Anchor continuing to go up and lower on quantities. So is Sky Striker Ishizuku, lower on quantities, up in price further. And then Zeke climbing now. I told you guys you probably should grab Zeke, as Sky Strikers do have new support on the horizon at some point. We don't know when or where it will be announced, for the TCG, but I think a lot of people also speculating, well, I have a nice deck that isn't the most expensive in the world now. If I get Sky Strikers with future support coming, that could also end up spiking those. But if it's in something like Ghosts from the Past, we could see a couple Striker reprints in there as well. But Ultra Rare is kind of an odd rarity to put something like Widow Anchor and Zeke in once again. So I do wonder where the Striker stuff, Mayakashi, where all that's going to appear, and then how Konami will deal with it, because it's probably not a structure deck like the Prismatic God Box ended up. There's not a one-for-one with that product and how Konami will handle it. Grand Creators, Water Enchantress, and Rite of Aramasir is going up even further in price. I'm just gonna pronounce this different every time I say it, but Water Enchantress at 80 for the Ultra, I didn't think it would be like this early. I saw it spiking to 60, and I told you guys to get them early, so if you did, you pre-ordered from Yu-Gi-Oh! Daily or elsewhere, you're doing a really good job right now. Also to note, the East Coast, which keeps getting the bad end of stuff, with that huge winter storm that happened, has delays. Konami even announced there's delays on their Grand Creator, so I wouldn't be freaking out of like, oh, are they gonna cancel my order? They're definitely dealing with that right now up over in the East Coast. So Grand Creators with small delays. Again, region-based, but for somewhere that ships out all the US, it does seem a little different if you're waiting like, wait, there wasn't a delay in my area. It affects daily to that degree. They will be fulfilling orders, though. Looking through at everything, wow, it is just crazy, though, what people are going for. People also are pointing out with the adventure token stuff, you can play Harpy Featherstorm. That might be something to look at that I haven't actually pulled up. But yeah, the collector rares still moving down while the ultras are moving up. That's some early properties of the set, and we'll have to wait and see. Actually, Rite is up, and then Water Enchantress is down from when we last looked. Let's actually, live editing done, sheep, not editing. Harpy's Featherstorm, check in on that real quick. And it does look like it's calmed down, actually, versus the past prices, as people are not as hyped about Bird up after the list, and it might be a good time to actually look at the prices declining and think about that little niche tech. Princess Cologne is up in price, as is Box of Friends for their nicer versions. I think Princess Cologne only has one version, Box of Friends has two, as we got the new support confirmed to be imported from the OCG into Battle of Chaos. So there's a little movement there. Not the craziest in the world. You can still get them relatively cheap if you're shopping other sellers, but if you're looking to just end up buying them without doing that or going for true near mint, you're paying just a bit more. But the hype really calmed down versus that initial buyout that happened a while back on the announcement. Let's see if we can even find the spike. Yeah, it doesn't go back all the way a year on the graph, but I remember when it was announced for the OCG, this just going way up for a bit. Raid Raptor Forstrix, that Lunalight announcement, has every single copy going lower in quantities, and the Secret Rare especially up in price. People excited for that combo. I didn't think this one would be moving all of a sudden because of it. I had it in the back of my head. I'm like, maybe, probably not. Well, never underestimate the fans that are Lunalight players. Elblixir Scarlet Sanguine continues to go up as people refuse to play anything from Gold Rare and will pay a lot of money in order to not do so. Disciples of the True Draco Phoenix is also up in price. This one's actually got me scratching my head. Is this Time Wizard format? I don't think a lot of people want to go back and play True Draco for that necessarily. Let me know if there's another reason specifically for this shooting up in price. If you do know, it's the highest rarity version of the card. It does look pretty nice. It's got the whole squad popping off except for Masterpiece. And jokes aside on this, it is also its highest rarity besides it just dodging gold, to spell the joke out for y'all. Fossil Dyna Patchy. The Unlimbs are getting bought out. The first has been very expensive for a long time, and now the Unlimbs are shooting up in price as the last copies that were all around $30 started to go. I guess people just got sick of looking at first edition, didn't want to buy Light Played, and now that might be something for Time Wizard format of time to unleash the stun decks again. I know JRB Jobber will be happy for that one. Also, speaking of Time Wizard format, maybe because it's a bit late for some ban list hype, this shot up really crazily, and the first edition lowest now is 75 to like 95. I've got like, no joke, 45 of these ulti first and even more Unlimbs back from my vendor days. So I'm kind of looking at this like, yo, time to come out of retirement. This one, it's a bit weird, and I don't think that people are really looking at all the different Time Wizard formats and thinking how many events are actually going to fire off around these where I can earn OTS packs. Yes, remote duels are a thing. Discords make it easier than ever, but you gotta get enough people together to fire a tournament off, and that is a larger ask. But yeah, with Time Wizard format, we're seeing a lot of different weird old buys. And then Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max, both the Jump version and the LARP version, are climbing up here. This one is kind of interesting because I really do like Earth Machine as a deck. When people sleep on it, it tends to creep back into the format, but both of these doing a little bit of a climb right now. Let me know what you think of everything going on in the market between the Battle of Chaos pre-sales as well as the movement in Grand Creators. I know so many people, oh, physical TCG is hurting so bad because of Master Duel, and on the other hand, I'm seeing people complain about Master Duel's amount of content right now. Like, I feel like sometimes Yu-Gi-Oh! Players just want to complain. You can find any kind of narrative if you're looking hard enough for it. Master Duel's awesome. I like the free-to-play grind. You're getting about 3,600 free gems if you're doing every daily challenge and the entire link ladder climb per month, and that's not bad, right? Like, almost 40 packs per month as you wait for the updates, and I do hope for in-game events and tournaments. I would be the most critical out of everybody on this game, and I think Konami's done a good job, but they do need to start stepping up and taking advantage of the hype of announcing some kind of event happening. Oh, we're going to release these new ranks, and doing some communication with the community. Master Duel is the ultimate window for the physical TCG, and if you still don't realize that, don't know what to tell you, but it's going to get a lot of people back into the game, as obviously timing had hoped for with this set. Again, card brawlers, if you're shopping those pre-sales, by the way, be spending half the price or under what TCG players looking like. Code What's Good 5 for 5% off and to support the channel directly.